Hi, this is Allie from Allie Katz Crafts. I'm here to bring you a video on Delightful Wishes, the stamps and dies that I got from Lori, my friend. She's so graciously kind of sponsoring me. I do cards for my church, but I also do cards for a senior center, and I don't charge them. So she's been helping me out by buying different items, and this is one of the fun things she bought me for my seniors and just for making cards. I love this set. It comes with paper, and this is one sheet of it. It's all about yellow, and it's double-sided. It comes from Stampin' Up. It's beautiful paper. I have more. I'm gonna sit over here. Here it is. I keep all my paper in a little folder here, and it tells you it's called Floral Delights. And it has different colors that go: Daffodil Delight Ink, Lemon Lolly, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. So there's different colors in here. And this is the back side. I'll just kind of pull it out so you can kind of see the different designs. So that's kind of what we get. And I think there's 2 of each kind, and there's 12 sheets all together. Before I realized she had purchased the paper for me, I had just bought one because I knew that she was going to get me the stamp set. So I have 2, which I'm very fortunate. So I'll be able to make lots and lots of cards. So this is the card we're going to make. It's a little difficult, but not too hard. I will go step-by-step instructions so you will know how to do it. Okay? The items that we'll be using is this stamp set, but we'll also be using beautiful Moffats, and I'll be using the, where's that? Thank You for Everything out of there. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is pick out your paper, and Old Olive, that's the code that goes with this. So I picked out my Old Olive paper, and the instructions will be down in the description in the video, by the way, the sizes. So I took a piece of Old Olive, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it 4 1/4 and helped put it down. Okay, so the next step you will do, and this is where it kind of comes into a little bit of work that you have to do. You'll need your Stampin' Up cutter or something that has numbers and a nice little canal here. So the very first thing you will do, I have to look at my instructions because I cannot remember everything right offhand. So you're going to put a little mark halfway between. So the halfway between mark would be, looking at my instructions, I had this already, but I marked it. It is 2 and I think it's 3/4. So half of 5 1/4 is 2 3/4. So yes. So I will get my ruler out, and I will find 2 3/4. Line up, 2 3/4. I'll put a little line right there. See the little line right there? So now you're going to take and put your paper in here, and you're going to line up this little edge and this little edge. Okay? Take your cutter. Now what you want to do is you want to cut from here to here only, but you don't want to quite go all the way to the top. So you make sure that this corner and this corner is in there. Do not start from this corner because you'll rip up your thing. So I usually start up here, and don't worry about going all the way to the top because you'll take your fussy cut scissors and cut it out the rest. So you do the same thing here. Cut from here to here, line it up perfect. Put my belay in the middle. Okay, so this is the cut you're going to get. Okay, and it's okay because what you want to do is you want to be able to take your scissors and cut it just like this. Cut out that little piece. Now don't throw away this piece because you are going to use it. So that's the first step. So now you have your card that looks like this. Okay? The next step, you will get a piece of paper from your paper here. And I already pre-cut it, but I'm going to show you how to do it so you'll understand. And you're going to cut it at 2.5 inches. So you're going to line it up in here. put it at 2.5 inches. By 3 3/8. So you're gonna go 3 7/8, sorry. 3 7/8. It's 2 lines before the 4 inches. That's how you know. You need 2 of those, okay? 3 7/8 right there. So now what you want to do is you want to cut a line that goes straight across there so that it'll match up and go that way. But you also have to have one on this side. So you ask, how do we do that? You grab the first one and see how it's going to go like this? And this one, you want it to go like this. So what you'll do is you'll cut from this side for this one and from this side. So we're going to start with this side. So we know we have to go from this corner to this corner. So you just line up the corners. Everything's pre-measured. So you just cut them from corner to corner. Start in the middle and bring it down. So you have your first one. Now with this one, remember, you want to go this direction, so you want to go the right way. So you're going to put this over here and go this direction. Okay? And whoops, I didn't put the blade up a little higher. I don't want to bend my corners. There we go, up and down, and there. So now you have 2 that are ready for another card. So that's the next step. Now you want to cut a white piece that goes on here. So I have a piece of paper over here that I cut. It's 5 by 4, and you're going to find the middle marker is 2.5 inches. So you take your ruler and measure it again. I kind of put that on there so to make it easier and faster to do the card. So 2.5 inches. Now you're going to take and put your mark right there in the corner right there on your cutter, and you will cut it. And you'll do the same thing over there on the other side. So you're going to bring it around, corner to corner, put your blade in the middle, and there you go. So now you are done cutting what you need. I have the other stuff pre-cut, which is very simple. It's just a piece of paper that'll go inside, which is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so next step is you're going to figure out which direction this goes. So it's going to go on here. Now, if you do it, it won't match up certain ways. See how that doesn't match up? So you have to look at it and say, okay, I put my numbers on the back. So you know that it's going to go just like that. Okay? Line up real good. And it'll go in. And you want, oops, wait a second. So you want to make sure which direction your thing is. So you're going to put your green back in here. So remember, this was cut out from right here. So you're going to take and flip it over and put it in there just like that. Okay? But you're going to put this piece of paper right here, and it will line up. It's got to kind of, you need to move it around. See how it lines up? This is where you have to be very careful. So now you're going to line up in here. I think this is the hardest part. See, that's what it's going to look like. So now I have my stamp ready to go. And I'll get out my Secret Sea ink that I chose. We're going to be using Secret Sea ink, Crushed Curry, and Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to get the Secret Sea out. And I have this in here. I don't glue it in because, you know, sometimes this happens to me, and I know it happens to everybody. I get into where I want it. What if I stamp it and it's messed up or whatever? With the first card, I used my another ink that I really don't like using. It's the StazOn. There's not enough ink in it, so I end up like making bad ink things or whatever. So I went to re-ink it, but I didn't have enough, but it kind of clumped up in the middle. So then it was all smeary. So I'm like, okay, time to get a new one of those. No big deal. So, oops, I put ink on my finger. Do not get inks on your finger, especially with this card. So I got my little wipey thing here. So I will take, now the thing is that you don't want it to get on your edges, because if it does, it'll get on the outside of your card. So you have to be very careful not to get any ink on it. So you have your thing right where you want it. You will take and do tap, tap, tap. You line it up and stamp it. Hold it there for a second and then pick it up. And you got a good stamp. The last card took me 3 times, just so you know. I am not perfect. So now that you have that, now you could take and glue this down, because now you know exactly where it's going to be. And you have your little words on it. It's okay. That's, no one will see this side. Remember, you have 2 sides to your paper. So it's okay. So you'll take your paper and you'll line it up the best that you can. Move it around till you get it where you want it. Okay. I got a nice border. Pressed it down. So I'm going to put it right in here. I'm going to look at where it goes. I'm going to lift up this little flap. Now I want to put glue from here over. So I'll get my glue. I'll put it around the edges, in the middle, and I'll press down that first one. Okay? I'll do the same thing. So I'll know I could go over about this far, no further. And I only want to do it on this card, because if you do it over here, you'll glue it to your card front. You don't want that. So just take your time, put the glue on there, and push that down. So that is glued down. Next step, your little pieces that you cut, you will stick them right here. So you put your glue on here. And you can use this side if you chose that side. Remember, it's double-sided. It depends on what you like. You decide what you want. Pick out your own paper. But I just know this paper is beautiful. I had purchased a pack of this, and I used up almost every piece except for a couple little pieces back before Easter. And I made some pre-cross cards out of this paper. The seniors got to do that. It was a little bit difficult of a card, but they did it. They were good. I've been teaching them card making for a while now, and they're starting to do a lot of their own die cutting and stuff. So they're experiencing a little bit more of the work that I do. I still do a lot of work towards making them, but they're starting to do it now, and they're going, oh, you do a lot of work. And I go, I know, but I do it for you. And they appreciate that. So I have, out of the Delightful Wishes, there are some die cuts that you could do. And let me see if I can find them. Oh, they're not in this pack. I have them set aside because I use them all the time. They're probably on a die cut machine. But there's different die cuts. So I die cut the flower, which would be this one. So the background is this one, and then there's this one that goes on top. And that's what's going to go right there. As you take a look at this card, you can see what I did. Okay? So you will take this one, and you'll put little dabs of glue. You don't have to use a lot. Sometimes I'll put double stick paper or sticky paper on here and die cut it, and that's a lot faster. But this one, I just was doing a whole bunch at once because we did a card a couple days ago at the Senior Center. So you do your best to line it. Sometimes it's not where you want it. You just kind of move it around. Okay, so I got it on there. Then I have this little brown one right here that goes in the middle. So I'll put that right there in the middle. Okay, let me go in a little bit. I notice I'm kind of far away. Okay. So there's that. So there's my flower. Then I take the flower and I kind of push it in the middle. Like so. So I make it like a little cup. I'll put some glue there. And what that's doing is it's lifting up the sides, and I'll glue it right here, just like so. Okay? And I cut out a couple leaves. So I'm going to bring in the leaves. And this is all that these came out of the dies in here. Okay? So I think I'll put a leaf right there. And a leaf right here. It's always hard for me to figure out where to put the leaves. I struggle with that part. And you notice how this flower looks like it's kind of pop. I didn't use a dimensional, but I kind of cupped it so it looks really cute like that. So the next thing, there was a die in here that cut out these little tiny flowers. And I took, and it's right here. So it's that die. I took the paper and I found a piece of checkered paper, and that's what I used for this. So I'll do the same thing, give a little cup, and I want to put one right about here. So I glue it down. And then I have these sequences that I got from another company, because I used to buy a lot of stuff from them, from Stamps of Life. And these are for shaker cards, and I pull out the sequence. But when I make shaker cards, I use these, because this has all kinds of fun stuff in there. Stuff that's sparkly and glittery, and it's really nice. So I will take and put a dot of glue in there and set my sequence down. Stick it in the middle. I have a cute little bow that I made also. And it's just a knot. Sometimes this is like very bulky, this ribbon. I'm not sure. I may have gotten this from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby or someplace, but I really liked it. It looks good with this card. I did not get the ribbon from Stampin' Up, and I don't think I think it was because they didn't have any available. I don't remember exactly why, but I just didn't. So I've always I kind of go and find my own ribbon a lot of times, because sometimes I just can't find what I really want. Sometimes it's out of stock or just something, just silliness. So I'm going to hold off on decorating the rest, because now my 5x4 piece, I'm going to glue it right there on the inside. So I'll take and just put some glue around it. And I'll put it in here. And I kind of want to line up so it's closer, like around the bottom. So it has a nice border around everything. Get as straight as you can. Sometimes you can't get perfect, and that's okay. And then press it down. So now you have this. So you want to stamp these cute little flowers right here. And that is in the Delightful Wishes stamps. So there's two of them. There's this one and this one. This is the detail, and this is the background. You want to do the detail in a darker color. So that's why I chose Crushed Curry. So I will close my card, because I want to put the flower about right there. And I will make sure there's no ink on the outside edges, which I just got a little bit. That's why it's important to just go tap, tap, tap. Because if you don't, and you move it around, it gets all over. It's like I got that little bit right there. So I'm going to hold it down. And I'm going to stamp. There. And I'll do the same thing. Tap, tap, tap. Do the same thing over here. And stamp. Then I'll get my envelope. Okay. And I will do a stamp on there, on the corner, and a stamp right here. Okay. Now I'm going to get my light yellow ink, or the Daffodil Delight. Okay. And I'll get out my other stamp, which is the background stamp. Tap, tap, tap. And I'll go over the top. And look at how pretty that looks. Nice detail. This is called double stamping, or I'm not sure exactly the exact name. So I'll close this card up again. Line up the best I can. And stamp it. And that is done. Okay. And I'll clean off my stamps. Really quick. There we go. All the stamps are clean. And this card is almost done. So now I want to add a little bit more of these flowers. I put lots of them out, lots of sequins. So I'll grab another little flower, kind of press it in the middle. I have glue in my hand, obviously. I always have glue or ink on my hands. That's just normal for me. So I think I will put a flower right here. Kind of gives it a nice 3D look. That's what I like about the flowers, adding this. So I want to put 3 flowers on here. So I'll put one right here. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3. Then I'll take and put sequins in the middle of each one of these. I'll grab my little sequence dot. I saw someone online, I think it was, I can't remember who she was. And she made this card with some other paper. I'm going, oh, that would be so pretty in the Delightful Wishes paper. Wishes stamp set and paper. I'm going, I have to make that. So I wrote down the instructions on how to make it, the directions, the sizes and stuff. And then I made it. One of the sizes she said was not the right size I cut. And I go, that's not right. I think she meant this. So this is why I don't show you my instructions. This is what my instructions look like. I know, I used a pen instead of a pencil. Oh, Stamping Mom, that's what it was. So this has all the instructions on how to make it. And it shows me what to do. I have all my arrows and all my craziness. This was not right, so I crossed it off. And then I figured out these things. Like this was supposed to be 4 inches by 2.5. And she said 3 3/4. Honest mistake, I do the same thing. So I had to readjust it. So for the future, when I make my next card, I will have that down. So this is my chicken scratch instructions. I like it because I understand it. So here's my card. I have a little bit of sequence for prettiness and a little bow, and it says, thank you for everything, and it opens up, and you have lots of writing space. You have from here up to right. If you want to write something down there in that little triangle, that little rectangle, diamond, so it looks like a diamond's in there, but really it isn't. And that's what I fell in love with this card. I'm going, oh, I have to make this card. So thank you for watching. I have 2 of these made now. And please like and subscribe to my channel. If you are interested in getting some Stampin' Up! Stuff, just look up my name, Allison Clark, Nocona, Texas, under the Find a Demonstrator. Okay? Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.